My first note was, so help me God if Lenny G isn't in this movie.
Oh, he right off the bat.
This is Lenny G from News Today.
Woo,
Right off the bat.
They knew what I was looking for, and they hit me early with it. It's Checkmate, baby. Hello, and welcome back to the 40th episode of Good, Bad, or Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies and tell you if you should too. 3 away from the Big 5-0. Got a little something special. I shouldn't have said that, because I don't know if we do.
Shit.
I'm your host, Mr. Brian Shilligo, joined as always, the other host, Mr. Kyle Hinton, rocking the merch, which is almost all gone, but we will have more soon. If you want our classic quantum physics or the Good, Bad, or Bad t-shirt, you can go to Etsy.com. Yeah, the card that's in the corner. That link. It's also in the description below. Got a few of them left still. So, Checkmate. This is still the year of the fan. This was requested a handful of times. This one more so even than No Contest.
Well, it's because the first one was so insane.
Yeah, the first one was amazing. Loved the first one. Incredible. It's he's like the Neil Breen of bad cop movies.
Yes.
Kind of, in a way. Like, it's a very similar... There's even some similar motifs and moments in terms of, like, broken old laptops that don't work that move around from scene to scene and other things.
No, in this, we just get a whole bunch of New York Police Department posters everywhere.
Yes. But there is one laptop that moves from room to room.
Yes.
That is broken and from the 90s, and they have electrical tape on it covering the Lenovo logo or whatever the fuck it is.
Not only that, they also, for showing that it's different laptops, they put on a different little piece of paper on it. Federal agency.
Federal agency lady, which he couldn't even remember in the first movie that he called it the Federal Bureau Agency. So he says, I'm with the FBA.
I'm an agent with the FBA.
And here's what FBA stands for. It's so fucking perfect because it's so wrong. He says, I'm with the FBA, and I assume they did that because for some reason FBI, you can just say FBI. It's not like it's, I don't know.
Trademarked or anything.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think you could just get away. Anyway, he says FBA, and he says the Federal Bureau Agency.
Federal Bureau Agency.
Somebody doesn't know. Somebody doesn't know what bureau means, maybe. Because it was the FBA, and it just says Federal Agency.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is amazing.
Alex Mays, we love you.
Alex Mays, you're the best. Keep on making movies, bud, which he left it open for a sequel, but we'll get there.
Well, I'm Alex Mays, Masonette. I'm actually produced and I directed Narcs.
How do you feel about these women over here that they just keep coming in and all the flashes? What is it? You have to have attractive women to get the excitement. I guess that's part of. Do you have it? Does that help you in the filmmaking? I mean, it's kind of a long way to get to that question, but
what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
So Checkmate, this is the sequel to Turf War. And now by sequel, I mean this man wrote and shot a 4-hour movie.
Yes.
And realized he couldn't sell a 4-hour movie, so he cut it in half.
I will say this much. The way he cut it, the way he ended the first one and started the second one, I mean, you could argue it was akin to like a mini series almost, but at least it felt like it was kind of natural.
It is kind of. I say that, I could be wrong, because it does kind of feel like an ending.
It was very abrupt.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Abrupt.
Abrupt.
It was very abrupt of an end, but it felt like it at least set up something.
Abrupt is like the German.
And that is the best I will give Alex Mays.
Yes.
This is Detective Rodriguez. About that transfer, disregard. I think I can deal with Sergeant Rivera under the same roof.
So yeah, Checkmate. So it starts right off, and like I said, I was like, so help me if Lenny G is not in this movie, and it opens up with News Today.
Oh yeah.
This is Lenny G from News Today.
Oh yeah, 10 seconds in, already got Lenny G. Cool. But just his voiceover at this point, I believe.
That's all we need.
Yeah. That's all we need. I'm Lenny G here with News Today.
Vocal butter chocolate.
And we get a little recap of what happened in the last movie through the news report. He says Flash has been caught.
That one dude was killed, the informant, the mole.
Yeah, the informant. But I love he says Flash, whose nickname on the street was Flash for many reasons.
I believe it was Eddie something, right?
What?
Wasn't his real name like Eddie something?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, whatever Fat Joe's name is, I don't know. But he goes, his nickname was Flash for many reasons.
Named Freddie Morales, who was named on the streets by Flash for many reasons.
And I was like, how many reasons could there possibly be that his nickname is Flash? I was like, I feel like it's just a joke because he's a fat guy. Like, you know, like, get over here, Tiny. Or like, because he's probably not fast, so you call him Flash.
Hang on. He is fast, and they proved it in one scene.
Oh,
later on.
Later on. The twist of all twists. The twist of all motherfucking twists.
I got you.
So the grammar on these supers, the public school system or private school system or whatever failed Alex Maisonette like severely. It's very.
I may have missed a few of these. How bad were they?
So this was my favorite one. Informant Marley. I'm reading as verbatim from the super, and by super I mean the lower third on the bottom of the screen on the news report. Informant Marley Johnson shot and killed before he testifies Flash. Therefore, period. Before he testifies Flash, period. Therefore, comma, Flash is released from jail. That's what the super says. So, one, I believe before he testifies against Flash, obviously, is what that should say. And I believe it should be a semicolon, therefore, comma, and not a period, therefore, comma.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong.
Either way, honestly.
I don't think so. I'll ask my girlfriend. So we jump right in immediately, like we recap, and it's the phone call he got at the end of the first one where he's on the phone. He's like, you know what?
Disregard.
I'm not resigning. I'm coming back.
Sergeant
Because Rivera, the guy who shot him how many years ago?
I don't know. Alex, how many times did he shoot? How long ago did he shoot you?
This is the guy that drove me to the hospital 15 years ago when I got shot.
Listen, 100 years ago, I don't know what happened between you and him. Nobody knows the whole story. Let it go.
You got shot about 15 years ago. Left you for dead.
And these people might be the ones that were involved 15 years ago when I was shot. I was shot 15 years ago by the same operation. I almost lost my whole career 15 years ago.
And we'll talk about, but I love he found an excuse in this movie to write in so he could say 10 years ago again about a different thing. Because this movie, a lot of it takes place apparently 10 years after the first movie. Even though nobody has aged at all.
What?
I swear to God, we'll get there. But there's a moment later in the movie where he's talking to somebody who was involved in the first movie. Oh, Millie.
Yo, do me a favor, dress her up, man. Put some clothes back on.
Spoilers, Millie comes back, not dead. This movie's crazy.
You got a lot of explaining to do.
If you just come inside, I'll explain everything.
He's talking to Millie later in the movie, and he goes, remember that case I was working on 10 years ago? And she goes, oh yeah, this one? And then it goes to a flashback of her in the first movie.
Manny, 10 years ago, I was involved with Flash's drug organization. I used to deliver all of Flash's drug supply to his drug dealers.
Where she got sold out. So apparently,
what?
10 years later, because then he writes it in, because then he gets to go through the whole movie. He's like, so this case I was working on 10 years ago, and I'm like, you can't just keep making it 10 years later.
Okay, wait, are we talking about 20 years? Okay, so it takes place over 20 years.
Yes. So he was shot 20 years ago. None of the timeline adds up either, because later he's talking to the police commissioner that wasn't in the first movie, the police commissioner who shows up in this one, who was like,
you mean Discount Meatloaf?
Yeah, him. He bitch tits. He shows up and he said he was a sergeant at the time, but now he's police commissioner. But then he's also now being forced to retire.
During my father's years as police commissioner, I didn't want to make him look bad. I was going to be promoted from cop to sergeant. During my cop years, about 17 years ago,
The timelines don't make sense. None of this movie
he's being forced to retire for like mental something.
Yeah, they say he's mentally ill a lot later.
And so he's going to give his position to what do I call him last time? Discount Joe Biden, young Joe Biden, Captain Joe Biden. He totally looks like Joe Biden.
Yes, discount fat Joe Biden. He also kind of looks like what that old coach from the Jets, one of the Ryans, Rex Ryan. I think that's his name. Yeah, I wanted to call him Ryan Rexler, but yeah. Anyways, so I was reminded immediately of his obsession with bass drum stings on cuts.
Flash, own boss, was never a person to give up on any.
Where every cut that happens has a thum, 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 thum over.
Well, my brain has been blown already, so from now on, it's just.
Oh, we got so much more to go, Kyle.
Shit.
Strap the fuck in. Every line. So many times in the movie, people say things that are just slightly off from how you should say things. Where it's like, and then Fat Joe, which the streets call him Flash.
I had a mission to bring the biggest drug dealer down, which the streets call him Flash.
And we get a little recap that Rivera is playing Flash and the bikers against each other so that he can sort of take over the territory.
What Sergeant Rivera was doing was creating the war with the bikers with Flash's help. They both wanted to take over the bikers' drug network.
Oh, and then this is where we get the name drop of the film. I am also aware, this is because Alex Mays is just driving his car explaining the premise for like 5 minutes.
Yep.
I am also aware that the bikers have a plan of their own. It's like a chess game, so I decided to play chess as well.
I am also aware that the bikers have a plan of their own. I have a mission of my own, and that's to bring them all down. Flash and the bikers' mission is like a chess game. So I decided to play chess as well.
I will see what they're doing. I will see what they're doing. Then I will position myself for a name drop of the motherfucking movie.
He did it!
I will put myself a step ahead and bring them down. But first, I will wait to see the move that the bikers will do towards Flash. Then I will position myself for a checkmate.
He did the thing!
He did the thing! And then I will position myself for a checkmate. This is grade A writing, Kyle. Fucking grade A writing. Holy shit. So then somebody gets killed, and I love what it's like for the thing in the first movie. Alex Mays goes to this crime scene, and it's a dead body, and there's a bandana and a box of matches laying next to the body because, as we know, that's the calling card of the bikers. There's a bandana and matches.
All right, whatever.
Bandana, couple of bullets, and a book of matches, which leads to believe bikers were doing this.
Also, so then we get the news because this is a dead biker or somebody. I can't even remember who it was.
Was it the postal dude?
No, that's way later. That's like the end of the movie. Not the end, but it's like halfway through the movie. So, but we get a news report and Lenny G on camera for the first time here. And this is, I love this. It's like part of it is from the last movie.
Yeah.
Where he's like talking about Lady Rider is running around, which I will get to that.
Yeah, we make a jump with Lady Rider. I was like, whoa, hang on here for a second.
Yeah. But so I need to make a point of this. I need you all to remember that in the first movie, and I think it might get repeated right here in this one, the news, Lenny G of News Today, says we have a murderer who's going around killing bikers. These are the Lady Rider murders.
Lenny G reporting live from News Today. The ongoing investigation continues in the Ladies Riders case.
They say that.
Yes.
He says that on the news.
Yes.
Now I need you all to remember that. We'll come back to it. So he's on the news and he's saying, and I love this, the news, when would a news organization ever say this? To all the bikers out there, please look out.
Word of caution to all the bikers. Please be careful. We don't know if it's a male or female, but they are strongly believing that it is a female. And gentlemen, if you are a biker, you really need to be careful.
Such a weird.
Remember, if you're dealing drugs, watch your back.
All you biker gang members out there, somebody's coming for you. Your friendly neighborhood news station's warning this gang. Okay.
Remember, to those doing illegal activities, somebody's going to kill you.
Okay, and then we cut to the police station, and I love this. There's a police officer that walks through 2 times that has a giant dangling gold earring. And I'm like, I'm fairly certain that's not up to dress code. Like, I'm fairly certain you can't get away with that. Which I looked it up, and at least in Seattle, you cannot. Okay. Have earrings. It was the first one that popped up.
Oh, okay. Just like that's incredibly specific. Also, that's way far away from New York.
No, I know. I googled like police dress code, and it was the first one that came up, and it said no earrings.
You may be surprised to know this. That's illegal in Zimbabwe.
I love too. All the cops in the police station are, because of the budget and whatnot, are all just wearing. I guess because it's homicide, but they're wearing like the one guy is wearing a button-down shirt open halfway down his chest with a gold chain. He looks like a generic like old Italian guy, but he's got a police jacket over it, so it's like official.
Yeah, close enough.
Fucking stupid. Rivera wants a file of whoever they're investigating in some crime, and they go to his filing drawer and they open it, and it's like the most disorganized slip slop, like just fucking papers everywhere.
Taxes from last year.
And I was like, what year is it? They used to have all your shit in a filing drawer that's just a giant mess. I feel like that shit would be on a computer. I'm probably wrong. I probably still do that shit on paper still. But
I think they probably have it in
probably
a system.
Both, yeah.
But they probably have it on paper just in case.
Yeah, it's probably both. That's fair. I love too the line here. He says, the guy goes, well, there's 2 new names on the list.
There's a list. There's 2 new names on there.
Oh, right.
And he goes blank and blank.
Matthew Johnson and Blair Curtis.
And then Rivera goes, so you're telling me there's 2 names on the list?
Okay. I'm just getting this straight. There's only 2 names on this list.
Blank and blank?
And one is Matthew Johnson and the other one is Blair Curtis.
And he goes, yeah, there's 2 names on the list.
Nothing else has changed.
No.
All right, thanks, Sarge.
Alex Mays!
Why do we repeat everything 6 times? God.
You have to make the audience know.
Gotta listen. Just beat him over the head with it. And I still can't remember anything important about the movie. Nope. Even though he repeats everything so many times, I just tune it all out.
It was 4 guys that shot at me. The sergeant started saying that it was 1 guy. Because I know I was a victim. I was the one that got shot. All right? I saw about 4 flashes coming at me. So he was telling me that.
They're setting up that they're giving a guy cross-dress as Lady Brother.
Yes. Holy shit. I saw this and I was like, what?
Check it out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see the resemblance, man.
So good,
he
right?
could put it off.
This is what you gotta look like. All right? Make sure this shit fit.
Yeah.
Wait, helmet.
What is going on? So the gang, one of the gangs, I guess Flash's group, and they kind of allude to this in the first movie. Remember, there's that scene where he brings home like a wig in the bag, and then nothing really ever comes of it. I don't think.
Yeah.
I guess they were setting it up for this movie.
We were supposed to think it's that same guy in a wig and stuff. Dude's like ripped and shit.
So they got all the shit to make him look like Lady Rider, and I don't understand this. I didn't understand it in the first one. He says when you stab him with both hands, left hand, right hand, left hand, right.
I want you to use your left and your right. Take that knife, jig them off the way you want to do it. Cut the dick off, cut anything what fuck you gotta do. Just make sure you make it happen. You understand what I'm saying? Left fight, left fight, left fight, make it happen.
And then chop off the dick.
And then chop off their dick. And I was like, wait a second.
Cut the dick off.
Was that a thing? I don't remember that.
No, that was just in this.
Okay, I was like, I super don't remember that from the first movie. That he's just going around chopping dicks off. I was like,
apparently that's her calling card now.
Yeah, I was like, they needed to up the ante in this one, apparently. I was like, all right. But the left hand, right hand thing doesn't make any sense to me because later they know that Lady Rider is left-handed, or so they say, but they say they do left and right to throw the cops off. But I'm like, no, because all that does is make the cops realize that it's not Lady Rider doing it because there's both stab.
I spoke to the ME, and he was telling me that it could be a righty slasher or a lefty slasher.
So what you're telling me is there's more than one.
Exactly.
Whatever.
None of it makes any sense. But this guy looks dynamite with his lipstick on and with his little mustache.
I saw this and it's like they're basically like, all right, we need like a 5'6" guy
who weighs like 84 pounds,
yes.
soaking wet. He's a very small man, very slight. And then there's a random scene of I think it might be Sandra. No, it's just a random old lady. Just a random old lady gets held up on the street.
Give me the fucking money.
All right, just don't hurt me.
All right.
You're gonna be sorry. You don't know whose money this is.
And then thrown into a trash can.
Yeah.
Bruno's not gonna be happy.
I think she was with the bikers.
Yeah, she
to some
is.
degree.
She is. But she's like, I don't have any money. And then he grabs her and throws her into a trash can and she falls
And
over.
No, they cut it before she falls over, but she clearly falls over.
Busts her fucking hip. Absolutely. That's the thing. In the credits, there's like 30 stunt actors in this movie. But I'm like, there aren't any stunts in this movie. Like, only things that are like stunts are all the main actors doing them. Like when what's his name, Blaze, almost gets hit by a car later. Like that's just Blaze, and like that scene where that old lady gets thrown, it's just the old lady. So like, what are your stunt actors doing? I don't okay. Well, I know what 4 of them are doing because 4 of them play Fat Joe, and those 4 are just there whenever Fat Joe couldn't be bothered to show up the set.
Yes.
All right, Flash, you ready? We on, dude. Bag them things up and put them in the trunk. In the bag, we're gonna put on some work. Let's go.
Get the fuck out of here.
Just relax. If we have to bust a cap, dude, we gotta bust a cap, Flash.
Easy, man.
We actually saw scenes where Fat Joe was outside of a vehicle this time.
That was my next one. Fat Joe is in a scene outside of a car with other people. It's
What
the only
the
time
hell?
it happens in the whole movie.
Hold up. That's old time of days, people. I know them, man. Old time of days, my man. I need them, yo. Be easy. I know them, yo. I know them.
And so I don't remember even what they're doing in that alleyway, like yelling at Sal and Johnny Boy for being rapists, probably.
You over here violating these chicks? You coming over here asking questions like you po-po? What is you motherfucking stupid?
Because they're still a thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
For a while.
Is it 20 years? Is it 20 years that
no,
they're
it's
just
10
like...
years from the last movie.
Okay, it's 20 years from the
but
last
it might
movie.
be 20 years from when they raped Lady Rider back in the day. But she was supposed to be like a 16-year-old even though she was 38.
Yes, oh my god.
In that scene.
It's like, oh, it all makes sense now. He's like, I need you at this age. Just wear pigtails. That'll take 20 years off you. We're literally dying now.
I'm okay. So somebody calls. I think it's old timer.
Old Joe or old Dave.
Timer Dave.
Right? Yeah.
OT Dave.
OT.
I fuck this fucking movie, man. Everything about it is the best and the worst. So I think he calls Bruno or whatever the fuck the guy's name, the head of the biker gang.
Bruno, yeah.
And I love this. I was like, she picks up the phone and it's in the restaurant from the first movie, and I'm like, unplug your fucking refrigerator.
Bruno? Hold on. Bruno!
But fucking she's like, hello, and it's like, yeah. Unplug that shit, Jesus.
Bruno?
Oh, okay, so then Bruno goes to talk to Fat Joe in his car, in his office, as he calls it.
Okay, yes.
This scene.
This is the scene that's amazing. This is the scene where he is playing chess by himself.
By himself. Oh, I have so much to say about this fucking scene.
And they're basically, he's trying to offer Bruno a position in his organization. He's trying to offer him a partnership.
Yeah.
I think the 3 of us, we could be big together, take over the whole city.
And
Because
Bruno's
he says, like, you're going to be out of business once I kill all your people or whatever. Yeah.
Bruno's like, yeah, it's not my gang.
Not my thing.
Now, you just don't understand. I come and go as I please. My money is mine.
But before this scene starts, they cut to a shot of a guy in a car who we have never seen up till this point in either movie. Now we learn who he is later. But he just is in the car and he's watching him and he goes, I see you.
I see you.
And I was like, who was that guy? And then it cuts. I was like, who the fuck was that guy? What was going on? So yeah, they're hanging out there, and he's got some great lines about how
enjoy your game. I see you like playing with yourself.
But then he's getting up and he puts a light tapper. Isn't that what that is?
He absolutely 100% plants one of those stupid dollar store
LED push lights
as a bug. And now, if you've never seen these, I don't know, they're about this big.
Yeah.
And he like leans down and sticks it to the chair in plain sight of everything. And then what's his name? Old timer Dave is listening in with a sweet gun because he's gonna do something. I don't even know. He just holds a gun up for no reason.
I know it's like a pistol style gun with like a stock and stuff, but it looks so weird.
And what it does, what I think it is it has the mounts for a scope on top, but there's no scope in it.
There's nothing there.
It's just like two big rings on top of it. And it's like, all right, sweet. But okay, so this. The chess moment. I have to talk about this for a moment. So he's playing chess with himself.
Oh, hang on. Gun people who do watch our show, and we know because
they're out there.
You've ripped on us
yelled
before.
At us before.
Go ahead and inform us. We don't know this one.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Like I said, I assume it's just not. It doesn't have a scope. It's a very strange looking gun, but it's like the only time they have a real gun of some sort. Because all the other times they're like plastic toys. Okay, so Fat Joe playing chess with himself. He's not playing against Bruno or anything. My favorite moment, he makes a move, and we'll talk about the move in a minute, but he makes a move, sets the piece down, looks up to the camera, and says, checkmate.
Checkmate.
And I'm like,
against yourself?
You're playing yourself. Also, who are you talking to?
Also, he did the thing.
He did the thing.
Checkmate.
Also, the move he makes no sense. Okay, so now I am not a chess player. I understand the rules of chess, but I'm not. So correct me if I'm wrong here, people who know chess. He's moving the move we see. He moves the white king next to the brown or whatever black queen, and says checkmate. And now you can see the rest of the board and where it's at. He's moving a white piece, which makes you think that white won. But he moves white into check. I'm not even sure he moves it into checkmate. He moves white into check, and brown is not in checkmate. I don't think, because you can see the king of.
Just put it down there.
Put it. I took a picture of it too because it just. I think what they thought. I think what it was. Is they had the king and the queen reversed, and they thought he was putting the white queen down next to the king and just saying checkmate, because like they know that the queen's a powerful piece and that's easy. If it's next to the king, he can take it. Checkmate. But I swear it makes somebody explain to me if it makes sense. I don't think it makes any fucking sense. Then we get a nice drive-by shooting with some pistols on the back of a motorcycle. Great effects. Great effects. And then, so they're going around killing all these people. The bikers are going around killing all these gang members. It cuts to Asian Adele, who works. She's the woman. He calls Maze.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's how she answers the phone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Maze. I say Maze. Manny calls Asian Adele, who works for. Who does she work for?
Federal. It says federal agency.
Yes.
Federal Bureau.
But we learned in the last one it was Federal Bureau Agency. But it just says, and when I say it just says, it is literally printed out and
scotch taped onto the back of a laptop.
This moment, I took a picture of it and I posted it on Facebook earlier today. But it's a perfect quintessential Alex Maisonette filmmaking. A black sheet hanging over the windows.
over a window where we can still see the window shine through it.
But that was the thing. They had to put that desk there for whatever reason, and they couldn't have that light shining through because they couldn't get their exposure right, I'm sure. So they hang a black sheet over it, and they put that stupid seal, like that seal of justice or whatever, that's printed out on a fucking fucking, it's an 18 by 24 sheet of paper. Oh, everything about it. And then on her desk, she has random old-timey camera trinkets.
Yes. What was that all about?
What is any of it? I don't fucking know, man. I love everything about it. Oh, it's so good.
Agent Nadell. It's me, Manny.
Manny, I'm so upset with you.
Yeah, I know I messed up.
She's gonna help him get some information because apparently the Sandra case, Sandra, we find out, I forgot who that was, is Lady Writer's mom. Turns out she's not dead. Also, even though we saw her die in the first movie, turns out Millie is not fucking dead. Now, Millie, if you remember, and she'll go on to tell us in about a 5-minute exposition dump of recap.
Yes.
I used to deliver all of Flash's drug supply to his drug dealers. One day, one of his associates, named Mike, set me up. He stole some of the money and made it look like I stole the money.
She was raped and murdered in the first movie.
Well, she was drugged, raped, reclothed, and then murdered because they couldn't get a pickup shot.
Yes.
Yo, do me a favor, dress her up, man. Put some clothes back on.
And then shot twice is what she says. Okay, and then so he goes and gets this information, and then I love this. Since it's a new character to us, Manny has to go back and explain his backstory to her.
You know that Sergeant Rivera?
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that shot me. That cocksucker is trying to set me up again.
I don't even know what this pertains to. My note says, you're supposed to be dead.
Remember something. You're supposed to be dead.
Question mark? I don't remember this lady. Classic cutting each other's lines off.
All right.
I'll make sure everything's going to be okay.
All right.
I'll make sure everything...
Oh, I think this is Sandra. And I think she might be talking to the FBA agent from the first movie because they have a back and forth. Yeah, that guy. Bobby McFerrin. The timing on that. I didn't know what the fuck you were doing. And I was like about to start.
I looked at that and I was like, this dude looks like fucking Bobby McFerrin. And he looks 100% like Bobby McFerrin.
Yeah, so Bobby McFerrin is back in this movie.
I'm sure that'll be nice and out of focus whenever.
Yeah, I'll put the picture. Oh God, Bobby McFerrin is back in this film. Have you ever seen the YouTube video where he plays the audience like an instrument? It's one of the most magical things you'll ever see. It's delightful.
Every time he's up there, once I put together that he looked like Bobby McFerrin, the only thing I was in my head the whole time was, "Don't worry, be happy."
Oh my God. Okay.
If anybody thinks that Bob Marley, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, Bobby McFerrin. So Sandra and Millie both work for the FBA now as like informants, basically, and they both, at least Millie, like everybody thinks she's dead still, like she's like under deep cover in the sense that nobody knows she's alive. And she's wearing big sweet glasses now, so you can't tell it's her. Everything about this movie is the best.
But something's really creeping me out. You got a lot of explaining to do.
So Millie goes to infiltrate, I think it's Millie or Sandra, one of the two, doesn't matter. Goes to infiltrate Flash's gang. And I love, she talks to the FBA agent. He goes, you're going to go infiltrate their gang.
I'm going to do this.
You sure?
Yes.
You know what you're up against.
Next scene is her with Flash.
Now, she checks out. Checked her all out. She's all good to go.
And Flash goes, you're not a rat, are you? And she's like, No.
This is amazing. Okay, yes, she was the most convincing no.
You not no cop, you not no rat?
Of course not. I don't rock like that.
Well, if she checks out, she's good.
And then right when that scene ends, she immediately goes like back to the guy's car.
I just met Flash.
I was like, was he fucking right there?
Across the street from them. He's watching this happen. He's like 15 feet away.
She could have just as easily from across the street yelled, "We're good." I'm in."
They don't suspect a thing. So stupid. Everything about oh god, it's amazing. So this is when he busts the mail carrier.
It's like, I'm not doing anything illegal. Oh shit.
Oh shit. There's a gallon of cocaine or heroin or whatever it is.
Boss, I'm just a mail carrier, man.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I wasn't even doing
I've been
nothing,
watching you all day, dude.
But that guy, so amazingly randomly, that actor, whoever's playing, is actually the only like, it comes out of nowhere. This guy can fucking act. Like, he acts up a fucking storm.
Well, you heard about Lady Rider, right? Yeah. I might know somebody that we can, I can connect you to.
It was like a revelation. I was like, where did you find this guy, House
Like,
Mason?
hey, a broken clock is right twice a day.
He crushes it. And I was like, when did this happen? How did this
That was actually the audition. He just didn't want to spend time on anything else.
Oh, it was amazing. Oh, but I love the scene. So when he's questioning the mail carrier who's distributing these drugs, because I think Rivera is using the postal service to send drugs out, basically, is the idea. And so it cuts to behind Rivera, and he has a bulletin board with all of the players in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a piece of cardboard. You couldn't afford a bulletin board for your movie? You had to use a piece of cardboard? And he's also just pointing at every pixel. He's like, you know this guy?
You know any of these players right here? Is he this guy? Know him? You know him? You don't know him?
No.
What about this guy?
No.
How about this
Well,
guy?
it's like Manny only has like the 3 photos of like the family members behind him the entire time. And you're just like, are you only on one fucking case?
He is. He's on one fucking case. I was like, just buy a bulletin board, you idiot.
Don't fuck me on this. You understand me?
And I love the guy says, yes, sir. And Manny goes, that's detective to you.
You got me?
Yes, sir.
And it's detective to you, Detective Rodriguez.
And he goes, yes, sir. Again, and I was like,
Detective Rodriguez. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Great. And then the scene fucking ends. And then Rivera goes to that filing cabinet from earlier with his, like, nobody in this fucking NYPD building pays any attention. A man with an NYPD jacket with his hood up over his head slinks over to their filing cabinet and is like,
well, it looks suspicious, but he is wearing an NYPD hoodie, so
it's gotta be fine.
But the part of this, the next part that made complete sense to me when Rivera was trying to get Manny off the force or suspended or whatever, is he goes to Chief Joe Biden, and says he let a guy go to try and track down somebody else.
And that guy
He's putting people in danger and stuff, and legitimately, yes,
He doesn't do the proper paperwork. Okay, then he lets the suspect go, not even informing me. Okay, now here's the other problem. He didn't even bother to turn in the drug evidence.
No, he's completely correct. 100% correct. I mean, he's fucking crooked, but he's correct.
The entire time I'm like, he's right. Is this a right thing or is this bad? I don't know.
I don't know. I was like, at this point, I'm like, I don't know who's working with who at this point. I'm so confused.
That suspect that he let go was murdered. Yeah, postal carrier, the mail service.
This is where he gets killed by our
Sandra.
No. It's by none of them. It's by the guy.
Oh right.
The mail carrier.
Well, somebody's there trying to seduce the dude and gets them up into his room.
Yeah, the biker's in.
Get under the covers.
Go put the covers over your head. I'll go wash up.
I'll make it worth your while.
That's what I'd be like. Yeah, I'm gonna go with no. Yeah.
Yep.
But I love dude. He's got a great line because his mail. He's at the Bikers Inn, and the sign for the Bikers Inn is fucking. They took the title tool in Premiere or whatever they edited this in, and drew a square and wrote the Bikers Inn on it. It's amazing. But she goes like this. The woman that got paid off by who's only shows up for like 5 minutes. I guess she's a prostitute or whatever. Shows up and
well, she's got to be. She's working for Alex Mays.
She's not working for Alex Mays. She's
for the movie. The movie.
Fair enough. No, she's working for Bruno. No, Flash. She's working for Flash.
And by the way, that's not a reference to her. She's a whore because she's working with Alex. Is that she's getting fucked because she's working with Alex and getting paid for it.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Of course I do. So what else do you do?
I'm a mail carrier.
So she goes, what do you do? She walks by the mail carrier and she goes, what do you do? And he goes, I'm a mail carrier. And she
I love this line.
I'll let you have it.
Can you be a female carrier?
Can you be a female carrier?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll be right on up upstairs real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Mays.
Motherfucking Alex Mays. Oh, that's the best. Oh, it's so good.
I'm a mail carrier.
Can you be a female carrier?
And then she lets in the guy who's dressed up as Lady Killer, Lady Rider, Lady Rider, and he stabs the shit out of him.
And then cuts off his dick.
Yes, and the sound effects for this stab. It sounds like somebody go like making weird mouth noises. It's the worst, and the guy is just grunting. It's incredible. And then Lenny G shows up with another special report.
Where he has like photos of the crime scene and stuff.
Yeah.
This is Lenny G from News Today. We're following the story all the way to the end, and we want you to stay close to us. Reporting live, Lenny G from News Today.
Every news report in this movie is just shots from the movie in the news.
Yes.
It's like a weird Inception where this movie exists.
My favorite part is I can't tell if he was just castrated and it's a nice little blood spot, or his dick was pulled through the blanket and then castrated.
Because the first shot they show with the blanket over him, it looks like a black. It looks like his dick was full of printer toner. But then they show it later and it's red. But I was very fucking confused. I was like, why is that black? Whatever. And also Lenny has a great line. Another biker was found dead and unfortunately castrated.
Another biker was found down and unfortunately castrated.
Unfortunately. I was like, I feel like the dead part's a little worse for him at this point.
Arguably.
Arguably. And then she gets murdered by undercover cops in the middle of broad daylight street.
Holy shit.
What did I do, officer?
Don't ask those questions.
You don't look like a cop to me.
Bitch, license and registration. Do it now. Hurry up.
Right.
Those guys just walk
They're
out.
just like, can we get your name? Yeah, it's this person. Cool.
Your name Debbie?
Yes, sir.
It's broad daylight, middle of the street, people everywhere. Fucking whatever. So then he goes to talk to, I think, the chief or somebody.
Yeah. This is where he's getting Manny pulled off the case. Where Roberto's getting Manny pulled off the case.
Yeah.
And
I hope you saw this.
No. Oh, man. Are you going to blow my mind again?
No, I don't think I'm going to blow your mind. If you didn't see it, then I have to go find a picture of it. So Rivera's talking to the chief about how Manny's dangerous or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point he goes, look, I know you guys go along.
Oh, this is an amazing photo.
That sounds nice, but look, I know he's your friend. I know he's friends with the inspector.
just a cutaway shot of Manny and Chief Joe Biden like on a fishing trip, and Manny's got his jack-tatted guns out with a fishing hat on and a vest. They just have the dumbest smiles.
Like a fucking idiot. I lost my mind.
That's another one where I had to go back and watch it a couple times. I was like, what the fuck was that?
I just like to imagine that they went to like a photo center at a Walmart, and they went to the Walmart, to the sporting goods section, and got a fishing hat and a fishing rod and fishing vest. And then they went to the photo thing at the Walmart, and they were like, all right, we need to take a picture. And they're leaving in like... So fucking awesome. I like to imagine even more it's a real picture of them on a fishing trip and they're actually friends in real life.
Well, he had the mustache too.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. Oh god, it's so funny, that fucking picture. I was like, I want that on my wall. I want to print it out and blow it up and hang it up on my wall. Okay, so then they show up at the hotel to investigate the murder of the mail carrier.
Who, by the way, Coroner hasn't freaking been there yet, and he's been dead for like a day.
Yeah, and I love they're talking to somebody else in the hotel. She goes, "No, I didn't see anything," and then shuts the door, and it's a sliding door. I'm like,
sorry. Thank you for your time. Hey, Inspector.
That's not a hotel. They don't have sliding doors to the rooms. Oh my god. Okay, and then so just I gotta point out the fact that the hotel room, they show the crime scene, and so the FBI agent is there, taped off in a weird
disguise.
part of a hallway in the post office suit, and he's looking at it, and it is so clearly it is an air mattress in the middle of a hallway with a blanket on it.
Wait, what?
You didn't see this?
No.
Holy, this is
What?
just a hallway. It's just a fucking hall. Come here. Hold on, I gotta show you this. Good, Bad, or Bad Bet will return you to your regularly scheduled episode shortly. Thank you for your patience.
James, I'll get back to you.
Hallway. Air mattress. Classic hotel room setup. This movie's incredible. Manny gets suspended. Because he does.
It doesn't end here. And congratulations, Police Commissioner.
Hey, fuck you, Manny. Get out of my fucking office. You understand, you ungrateful son of a bitch? Now get the fuck out of my office.
Yeah, I love in the chief or whatever's office, there is just a picture of 3 police badges taped to the wall.
Yes. Like, also, they took Manny's badge, right?
Yeah.
And there's a later scene where he has like fucking 4 of them.
He has a Tupperware container full of fake badges. And he says, because he goes up to Johnson, he goes, "Sorry to do this to you, but I gotta wear my dupe."
I hate to put you in this predicament. I don't have a choice. I gotta put on my dupe.
That's what he says when he has that badge on. So apparently he has a fake duplicate badge.
You know what? He probably deserves to get suspended.
Yeah, right?
What the...
Right? This transaction happens between Manny and another character. I was set up. So you're saying he set you up? Damn right, I was set up. So he set you up?
Mike, I was set up.
He set you up?
You damn right, Mike, I was set up. You told me that you was gonna keep Rivera off my back. Shit, how can you bring him here?
You tell me Sergeant Rivera set you up.
It's fucking amazing.
It's not like I never did this before. I was gonna voucher it. But first, I wanted that kid to take me to his connect. And his connect was gonna close out the Lady Riders case and all the homicides that are narcotics related.
Does Fat Joe explode at some point soon?
I
was gonna talk about that.
Yeah, alright, so what happens next is he meets up with Millie.
My God, Millie, you're alive.
And this is where she explains everything. And I was like, oh, thank God, she's going to explain everything.
If you just come inside, I'll explain everything.
Not very well.
No, not at all. I love, my favorite thing about it is they meet up at this place. They walk into the building.
Yes.
And then we don't see them.
It's just the building. It's just an exterior shot of the building.
And then it cuts to flashbacks and voiceover of her talking. And then they walk out of the building.
I'm willing to take that risk.
I was like, thanks. We got that all explained. So one of my favorite things, she goes, so they raped me, they drugged me, they raped me. They planted a felony weight of drugs on me.
And then he planted a felony weight of cocaine on me by leaving it in my possession.
And she says the stuff they drugged her with kept her alive.
But I survived. That drug was so strong, it helped me survive.
I love to, every time Manny calls his partner, Detective Johnson, he always says, the detective goes, Detective Johnson. And Manny goes, Detective Johnson? It's me, Manny.
Detective Johnson, how could I help you?
Detective Johnson, it's me.
What's up, Manny?
I'm like, you guys are partners. You've been partners. Do you not like know what each other sound like?
Yeah.
You always have to introduce yourself to each other.
Detective Johnson.
It's me, Manny.
So Lady Rider comes back, and she walks up to somebody, and this is the thing that blows my mind. It happens like 3 times in this movie. It even happens later in the movie after all this shit goes down. She tells, I think it's Sal or whatever, one of the 2 guys that were raping everybody. She goes, I'm Lady Rider.
What is your name?
Laura. Laura Lady Rider.
Response? Oh, that's cool.
No, your real name.
That is my real name, Lady Rider.
No shit.
Did I do something wrong?
What brings you around these parts?
You must be that person who was murdering all those people, because I saw on the news they were called the Lady Rider murders.
This is Lenny G from News Today. We are on location and following the case that everyone is talking about. Of course, the Lady Rider case is still being investigated by police. The Lady Rider case.
She calls herself Lady Rider to everybody throughout this movie constantly.
Lady Rider.
That's right. Laura. Laura Lady Rider.
What's your name, shorty?
Lady Rider.
And everybody's like, nobody puts it together that maybe that thing on the news that they were called the Lady Rider murders. She even does it. Okay.
All right then. Is this where they kill the one of the dudes? We gotta get going.
Yeah, no. I love whenever Manny talks on the phone, his head bobbles, and it's because like he feels like he has to like pantomime the act of talking on the phone. He always does. It's fucking awesome. Officer Dad Jeans. I don't know what that note means.
Dad Jeans.
I don't know what that note means. We're doing a speed run here. Oh, then Lady Rider roofies Sal and murders the shit out of him.
They roofie him?
She roofies him.
Oh, okay.
She puts something in his drink.
Well, they did that whole thing, and then they were like, get a dress. I thought they were about ready to fucking a field, and I was like, why are they doing this?
He just stumbles into a field in the broad daylight and falls over because he's roofied, and then Millie shows up, and Lady Rider show up,
and they just stab the shit out of his dick.
Oh, you son of a bitch, he's not done yet.
Oh my god.
Just dick stabs, just so many dick stabs, just and blood spurts and more dick stabs and more blood spurts and more dick stabs. I'm gonna say dick stabs 8 more times.
They pull him like off camera. It goes to black or whatever, and then we just get a shot of like a sausage cut that was laying on him.
These motherfuckers cut a bratwurst in half, covered it in strawberry syrup, left it on his crotch, and then videotaped it and put it in their movie.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time. And who can say if you love?
No joke, out of nowhere, there is a shot of what is supposed to be a chopped off penis. I was so unprepared. I watched that like 3 times and I was looking at it and be like, what did I just watch? No fucking joke. They cut a raw bratwurst and leave it on his leg and then sprayed strawberry sauce. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Amazing. Okay.
This is Lenny G from News Today. We just received the report that over these bushes and a few yards from here, the body of a young man was found.
A body of a young man was found, unfortunately dead.
The body of a young man was found, unfortunately dead.
Oh, also castrated.
Dead. Castrated, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's a normal thing to say, Lady G. The body of a young man was found, unfortunately dead. There's no other way you would start that sentence if they weren't dead. You would not start that sentence that way. A body of a young man was found. He's fine.
Now, this is the first of its kind of that kind of crime in this area. However, this area has been frequented by bikers.
So, Lady Rider gets arrested.
Can I help you, officer? What have I done?
You're coming with me.
The next scene, she's picking up Sal to kill him. The next fucking scene, I don't even understand what, doesn't make any sense. For some reason, she picks up Sal, but then Blaze and some other dude come and kill Sal for her. Don't know why or what they're involved with any of that shit. So then the old commissioner sends Manny a letter saying that he knows that everything's crooked.
Detective, you may be a little surprised about getting a letter like this. Now, usually cops and detectives don't usually get letters like this.
I love too when they pick up the commissioner to talk to him. So Manny gets a letter from the commissioner, and the line goes, "Now usually cops and detectives don't usually get letters like this at home." And then they pick him up the next day, and he says the exact same line. They clearly used the line from that scene in the voiceover from the scene.
You may be a little surprised about getting a letter like this. Now, usually cops and detectives don't usually get letters like this. You may be a little surprised about getting a letter like this. Now, usually cops and detectives don't usually get letters like this.
And then we get a flashback to when fucking...
Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, this is back with the commissioner with the sergeant.
Yes.
Right, he's got Rivera and Rocky.
Yes!
Rocky under... That wig that old man has is amazing. Look at how... When I saw that, I was like, what?
You spend more than $3 at a party store on a fucking wig? It is the worst. And it's on a man who is clearly 88 years old.
Oh my god, when I saw that wig, I was like, this is the greatest movie ever.
Then Blaze gets fucking shot.
Yeah, just randomly.
Hey, Flash.
By Flash, right?
Yeah. I don't even remember. Yes, I think it's
yeah.
Flash.
He does. Hey, Flash.
Yeah, bam, right in the head, blood spurt. And then one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, his sister.
This acting is something otherworldly.
I need to put a soaring orchestral score underneath it because it is a top-down shot of her in this stairwell, and I swear to God, she says the line, "Oh Lord, the streets took you, Blaze. Didn't I tell you?"
Blaze! Oh Lord! The streets took you, Blaze! Didn't I tell you? Oh!
The streets took you, Blaze. Smash cut 1 week later.
Oh no! The scream was like something out of I don't even. What movie would you even say is relative to?
You know what it reminded me kind of is like when Neil Breen's like, ah!
Yeah.
Ah! Kind of.
Oh Lord! The streets took you, Blaze!
Bruno calls Fat Joe while he's in his limo. This moment.
This ain't JP. JP is tied up a little bit right now. You think you're fucking slick.
But I'm gonna tell you something right now. You try to fuck me, you try to set me up, okay?
Is so glorious.
Amazing. By the way, who's driving?
Fuck me, you try to set me up, okay?
The limo driver.
Who's the limo?
I don't know. It's important because that's a thing that later in the movie.
Okay. Well, they talk about the limo driver, and there's a point where Flash knows what's going on.
And he goes to shoot the limo
and she
driver.
goes to shoot the limo driver. Is the limo driver a biker?
No. Well, if he was, he gets fucked.
I know. I saw
Wait,
that.
you're right. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Wait a second.
Not only that, there was bikers around him too.
Yeah, well, the bikers show up because the bikers, that's not an escort. They show up to plant the bomb on him. And the bomb is, again, it's a magnetic, I have one in my other room. It's a magnetic LED light that they magnet to the side of the car, and that's the bomb. And then it blows up in the best CG explosion ever. And Fat Joe doesn't react at all. He's just like, he's just like, and then it explodes, and it's a great explosion.
It's called checkmate, motherfucker. I got you.
My favorite thing about so it doesn't look anything like a bomb. It very clearly looks like a flashlight that you stuck to the side of the fucking limo. The favorite thing about it, though, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna use a flashlight as a bomb, you know what you don't do? In the next scene, have your main character carrying the exact same flashlight and using it as a fucking flashlight.
What?
In the next scene, when they go to investigate that sewer, where they're like, oh, go check out this sewer, and they go to the sewer, Manny is using a flashlight, and so help me God, it is the flashlight that they use as the bomb prop. It's the dumbest fucking thing.
Wow. Oh, by the way, the bikers, the reason they were able to call Fat Joe is because he beat the living shit out of JP.
Yeah.
And took his phone and left him to be arrested by the cops. He looked dead, right?
Yeah.
He looked like dead.
No,
like
he was like
strapped.
hanging there. Thought he was dead. Wasn't a dead. When JP gets arrested too, the music is only mixed in the left channel.
I didn't notice that.
I was watching it with headphones on, so it was very apparent.
Finally, we got JP.
So when they get the call to go get JP, they say he's at 444 Brown's Place.
444 Brown Place.
In the next scene, when they go to investigate that sewer, they find it and they go, right behind
444 Brown's Place.
No, they fucking don't, Kyle.
What?
He goes, this sewer, how convenient. This sewer is right behind 44 Brown's Place.
How convenient. Right behind 44 Brown's Place.
They couldn't remember the address they used in the scene before in this fucking movie to make them be the same address. He says 444 in that phone call, and when they go to investigate that sewer, he goes, how convenient. It's right behind where we were yesterday, 44 Brown's Place.
444 Brown Place. Right behind 44 Brown's Place.
What?
Come on, man.
Continuity.
This is the final scene. This is it. Well, I say the final scene. It's not really.
So Rivera's there because the commissioner's being forced to resign.
Yes.
And he's basically there. The ploy is that he's there to consult him. Just see what's happening, how you doing, this transition thing.
But he also has a gun.
He's also
with
there to kill him.
To kill him.
And Rocky was going to go in too.
Yeah.
But Rocky's like,
I'm going to take a nap. Because he wants to know if the commissioner remembers anything from like when they were crooked. It turns out he does.
Oh, yes.
Remember, you were the one that shot and killed that drug dealer. Then you shot the undercover. And then you changed his statement?
And I love, one of my favorite things about this scene is the commissioner is sitting there and he's got a nice bottle of tequila and he's drinking it out of a wine glass.
You want a drink, Jimmy?
No, thank you.
Just everything in this movie is like that. Everything. There's never a moment where it's like they always take a normal thing and then they just fucking fuck you. You thought this was gonna be normal? Tequila straight out of a wine glass.
You got a problem with that?
I was like, that's not the most alcoholic thing to do in the world. Drink straight tequila out of a wine glass. Oh my god. And then for some reason Manny's there. Manny
he's getting the drop on Rivera. He pulls out a gun, and Rivera's like, "Ha, I changed out. I emptied your gun last night when I broke into this place.
I emptied your bullets." I'm like, "What?"
On you. Don't even bother with your gun because I came here last night and I emptied your revolver because a bit of an obstacle caused chaos. And you know what? I was right.
Okay, but I love too when he clicks the gun at him, and it's very clearly a plastic cap gun, and they couldn't be bothered to make it sound like in the first one where they couldn't be bothered to put real sounding gun effects. Yeah. He goes click, 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 and it's like it's clearly plastic. Oh god.
On you.
But he's getting ready to kill the commissioner when Manny and Johnson come in there and blow him the fuck away.
I love too. They go drop the gun. He goes what? And they immediately unload on him.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Why did you even yell drop the gun if you're just gonna shoot him immediately? So amazing. Also behind the commissioner, he's got that stupid seal, printed out poster, the Justice Seal.
At his own house.
At his own house on the wall in his fucking dining room.
That committed.
He needs to be committed. Drinking fucking tequila out of a wine glass. Oh, they put like 40 rounds into him and then it cuts and he has one bullet. Yeah. They literally like unloads like 1,000,000 bullets into him.
But basically, this is where all the wrap-up stuff comes.
Yeah, the news hits again. Lenny G shows back up, but it's not Lenny G.
A busy week here at New News Today as we bring you the latest. It seems like the war between the bikers and the drug dealers is finally over.
It's not. If you listen closely, I'm pretty sure it's Bobby McFerrin, but it is very clearly, I mean, Lenny G has a very distinct voice, and it's close-ish, it's kind of deep, but it is not Lenny G's voice.
A busy week here at New News Today.
This is Lenny G from News Today. We just received the report.
And he doesn't say this is Lenny G, but this guy also calls it New News Today.
A busy week here at New News Today.
Which makes me go, is that what it was supposed to have been all along? Because that almost, not that it makes sense, but it makes more sense than News Today. New News Today at least like kind of makes sense. So Rodriguez is back to full duty, saved the commissioner's life, blah, blah, blah.
Commissioner retires.
Yeah.
Chief Joe Biden's now the commissioner.
Yeah. Millie and Lady Writer are hanging out together. Millie's like, guess what? Your mom never died.
What? Huh? What?
Whoa.
There was 2 detectives, and they did their homework. Oh, yes, they did.
Then we have a random shot of an exterior for no reason, so they could bring the actress in or do a pickup shot the next day or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they cut to a cliff for no reason. It's like, why is there a cliff all of a sudden? Okay, now we're back.
You would have probably been in jail if it wasn't for them. I think I hear your mother.
And then they're like, and she goes, "It's finally over." Yes, it's over.
Mom, it's over.
It's finally over.
And I was like, God, I fucking hope
Yes,
so.
that was the line that I was like, yes, it's finally over.
Guess what, Kyle? It's motherfucking not.
I clicked over the timeline. How is there 7 fucking minutes left on this?
They fucking got ya. Checkmate, motherfucker. Checkmate.
Checkmate.
And then Millie burns the story about herself in the fireplace.
Yeah, in the most dramatic fashion possible.
Yeah, we see the FBA agent who still has 3 male logos taped on the wall behind him for no reason. And then I think he says it was a checkmate. They say checkmate like 4 times just so you remember the name.
It doesn't even mean anything at this point.
No, it doesn't. They're just saying it because it's the name of the movie at this point.
It was a checkmate. It was a checkmate.
Manny goes, "We'll just have to wait for the next move." And I was like, is he going to say movie?
We wait for the next move.
We just have to wait for the next movie. So, because apparently Gonzo, who's the guy from earlier in the movie, is going to take over now. And he's actually who Rodriguez gets transferred to his department, and he's his new boss. So it's the same situation as before, where his boss is crooked. But he doesn't know it yet this time, I don't think.
And Flash survived.
And then fucking... spoiler twist.
Old man Dave. Old man Dave gives a call and says Flash survived by dropping out of the bottom of a moving vehicle into a sewer grate.
Yes.
Flash is not dead. The body that was found in the trunk of the car was of the limo driver.
And now the edit we saw, there was zero time for any of this to happen.
Two things real quick. These both happen at the very end of the film. Is whenever Gonzo's getting off the phone talking with, I guess, Manny, because he's being transferred to his apartment, you can literally hear Alex say, all right, now hang up.
I'll see you soon.
Hang up.
You can hear him off camera, the director, off camera, tell the actor, now hang up.
I did not hear that. That's
yes. And then there's the scene where whoever the stunt double is for Fat Joe is like getting out of the sewer grate.
Yeah.
He puts his fingers up in it. You can hear Manny's go, all right, keep going.
Keep going.
What?
Yes.
I got to the end. They got to the end. I'm a little guilty of this myself at the end of some of our edits for our shows. I'm like, I gotta get this fucking done. He was like, I can't be bothered to cut off the part where I give them stage direction. Oh, so I love too when he's on the phone. Behind him, Manny, there's the bulletin board, and he has a piece of paper that says "case closed" hanging.
Yes.
And I was like, I swear.
If he turns around and takes it off.
If he turns around and rips that off, I will come and then I will explode. In that order. Like, holy shit. It doesn't happen, but I was waiting for it so much.
So just for everybody to know, Brian has not met that release yet.
No, it's building up. Come on, Alex Mays. Get me there, man. Jesus Christ. And then the final shot of the movie is a blurred out back of a car as it drives away. Because again, they have to blur out the makes and models.
It is extremely blurred out.
Yeah, it's
like there's a whole bunch of bumper stickers or something on it.
Yeah, it's all blurred out. And then we get like the exact same credits from the first movie. A couple little brilliant things I found in these credits. One of the people's name is John Postal Master Chief. One of the characters' names is John Postal Master Chief.
Okay.
None of the parentheses are closed. So every time there's a character name and then parentheses something, there's never a closing parenthesis. Which is just amazing. And then at the end it says, it credits the special effects department, but it says,
oh no,
special post effects.
Oh no.
Special post effects.
God.
That's motherfucking Checkmate, Kyle.
God, it is so good bad.
Yes, it is. We're finally back on track. I love Alex Mays and Net movies. They're incredible. We're gonna have to do Narcs and whatever.
What was it?
The
Devil
curse,
something?
The curse.
The curse.
The apostrophe curse, I think. Amazing. That one looks incredible because it's about like a voodoo witch doctor or something. I don't even know. So yeah, good bad for fucking
so good bad.
And you can watch it for free on Amazon. If you got Amazon Prime, it's a free streaming on there, which is where I watched it. Check it out, guys. It's good fun. The acting is on par with just the same. Just everybody.
It is literally it's the second movie.
Yeah.
Plus more.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just the same thing plus more nonsense. It honestly might be crazier than Turf War was.
It's the first movie with severed bratwurst.
Yes, with the chopped off bratwurst dick. How can you beat it? That guy can't anymore because it got fucking chopped off.
Ouch.
Just want to remind you all that you can support us on Patreon so we don't get our dicks chopped off by debt and crushing loneliness.
I'm sad now.
You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/GBorBB. Just released Kyle's feature-length film for people to watch on there. Also want to let you know you can get our t-shirts, like I mentioned at the beginning, on Etsy. Kyle's sporting the lovely Quantum Physics. Once those, we're getting pretty close to selling out of those. I know there's like at least one left of every size other than XX of the Quantum Physics, and I believe there's at least one left of every size of the Good, Better, Bad, Bad. So we still got at least, I don't know, a handful of those left. After that, we're gonna have another service for more shirts. Talk about that at a later date, but it's coming. Check out my podcast, This Film Is Lit, where me and my girlfriend talk about films that are adaptations of books, break them down, talk about them. The next one is going to be Gone Girl.
Oh boy.
Spoilers, that one's crazy. And also, somebody you know may have been in
I think
that
we may
movie.
have teased this last time,
Yeah,
too.
we did. I think I did, actually. Because I put the clip in of you running up the hill. Great. One of the greatest moments in film history. So, yeah. Check that out on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts. This film is lit. I believe that is it.
I don't have anything to plug.
Yeah. Till next time, guys. Keep watching movies.
Especially Checkmate.
Oh, fucking hell. Watch Checkmate. It's Alex Mays. Keep making movies, dude. He's getting up there with Neil Breen.
Yeah,
level.
he's our East Coast Neil Breen.
He really is. He's the crime drama Neil Breen. Like Neil Breen is the space savior Neil Breen. He is the crime drama Neil Breen, and he's getting up there with quality and quantity.
Yeah.
It's just gonna go out on the slow clap for you. Alex Mays and that.